Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk. I'm back with a little project for you, and this is a little Easter box you can see here with some gorgeous little ducklings. And when you slide it off, it's slightly unusual because it opens diagonally to create a little double cream egg box. I have been trying to make this probably for about 3 weeks, but every time I come to make it, somebody has eaten my cream eggs. So my other half had to go out today and replace said Easter eggs, cream eggs, and so now I'm doing the project quick while I still have some. So it's actually a version of a box I did some time ago for a Frero, so it's just a bit of fun really, and a different way to package up some cream eggs. So there's quite a bit of cutting, but your main piece for the box, I'm going to use some gorgeous grape. What am I going to do? No, first of all I'm going to tell you what stamp set I'm using. I am using the lovely Fable Friends. Look at that. This is a lovely Jemima Puddle Duck type character, a bit of Peter Rabbit, Squirrel Nutkin, these gorgeous little ducklings, and some super sentiment. So really nice stamp set to be used for all sorts of occasions. So first of all, I'm going to work in centimetres today. You need to cut your card to 24 centimetres and then cut it again at 19 centimetres. In terms of the scoring, you are going to score the short edge at 5 and 14 centimetres. 5 and 14. And then on the long edge at 3, so I'm doing that on the right hand side there, just about out of shot. There you go. I'm not going to cut it, did that once already today. 3 at 8, at 13, and my other light has just gone out, so you'll just have to, a little bit dark, apologies. 18 and 23. Then you're going to score these middle, you've got 4 equal sections, and you're going to score the middle 2 diagonally from the middle out. So I'm just lining that up. So I'm lining up the cross point here, and I'm lining up the outer mark on the edge. Now you might find this easier to do using a ruler and a scoring tool. It's not too bad on the trim, I have to say. So I'm just doing that diagonally now. So literally, there you go. Probably couldn't see that terribly well. So I'm lining up in the track here and in the track here, so the outer edge. So I've created score lines that go from here out, here out, here out, and here out. And it'll become clearer when you cut down. So cut down either side, both sides of the big panel, but cut across about 1 centimetre or ½ inch up. So again, down the outer edge of that large panel and across. And do the same at the other edge, so you've got a little skinny bit here. You're going down the outside and across at about 1 centimetre, and the same on the other side. Okay. Once you've done that, just fold and burnish those score lines. And then on the section where you've got a slightly bigger piece, just come in with your corner rounder. I've done a rubbish job on that. And on that one. And then you're going to just notch out these 4 small tabs. And then you're going to cut down this centre line, just to the score line, and just again probably about ½ inch, maybe 1 centimetre, just cut away that bulk. It doesn't have to be perfect, you're just going to use it to fold it down and reinforce the sides of those boxes. Okay. So once you've done that, you can then reinforce those as well. Okay. So now we just need to add some tape. So what I'm going to use now is just some red tape when I can find the end, and I'm just going to put that on the outer edge of these 4 tabs. So although it looks kind of difficult, it's really very little, it's just an extra couple of score lines from creating an ordinary box. And as I say, cutting the tabs is just a way of keeping the shape a little bit. And before we make it, what I'm going to do is I've cut some DSP. So I've cut our Highland Heather DSP at 8.5 centimetres, and I've cut 4 strips of 4.5, and then with the remaining piece I've trimmed it to 8.5 and cut it to 2.5. So those can now be added to our card. And obviously it's always easier to add the paper while it's still flat. At least it would be if you didn't stick your finger to the paper. Oh dear, it's going to be one of those videos. Okay, so there we go. And then this section is where you're going to put your 3rd piece. So you're just leaving the base clear. I mean, you could add a piece on there if you wanted to, obviously. And then just to match the edge, we're going to just corner round 2 edges, 2 corners on the front panel, which is this slightly larger one here. Okay. So having done that, we're now going to fold up our box. And to do that, you're just taking the tape off and folding up, just matching the corner to the edge. The last one. And because it's got these diagonals, it actually makes it quite easy to do. So now what we need to do is create our little insert. So I've cut a piece which is 8 by 9 centimetres, and on the short edge I have scored at 1 centimetre. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my 1 1/4 inch punch, keeping it flat, and just, you can see there I'm just tucking it in right to the edge. Like so. And the same on the other side. And then we're going to use a bit of red tape again on there. And this just creates like a little cradle for those eggs to sit in. And before I do it, I'm just going to gently curve that slightly. So fold the edge under, and with the larger flap away from you, just tuck this down against the side here and press it down. Then take the other side, and you're going to just fold that until it sits just against that crease there, like so. Then our eggs fit in. And you can fold the box up, and you get a really nice snug fit with a lovely diagonal line there. So now what we want to do is we want to create a belly band. So again, I've cut a strip already, and this is 4.5 centimetres by 22. And what I'm going to do is just hold it flush here and do the first crease. And once I've done that, I'm going to line up the edges so that they are flush, and I'm going to reinforce it. Then I shall continue round with the next one, do the same process. And the reason I do this is because sometimes they're not kind of exact measurements, and you're down into sort of small millimetres, and really it's just as easy for a box to create a belly band by folding it round. Then you get the perfect fit, whatever size of your measurements. And I'm not pulling it tight, I'm just creasing. So when we get to the front, pop our little eggs in so they're properly positioned. Fold our belly band around, and then all I'm going to do is just add a little bit of glue to this piece here, and then put that together. So I've possibly made that one a little bit on the snug side, but there we go, it'll be fine. So now I'm going to try and find the piece of card I've just thrown on the floor. So this is my panel for stamping and colouring. So I've managed to lose my panel, so you need to cut yourself a piece of cardstock, and we're going to create a layer here, followed by our panel of white. So we will need some Whisper White cardstock, and we're going to cut a piece that is 7 by 4 centimetres. So let's cut that to 4 centimetres. I was only looking, it didn't look particularly straight, so I'm just going to trim that. Four centimetres by 7. And then you want a piece of your gorgeous grape that's 7.5 by 4.5. And then you're going to stamp your image in Memento Black, because we're going to be colouring with our alcohol markers. Or at least we would if I could. This video is doomed. I have now lost my... Okay. Well, fortunately, I've got one I prepared earlier. What I was going to say is you're going to stamp in some Memento Black ink. There it is, away! Sooner or later. So, take your ducks and stamp across the bottom in Memento. Okay, so we're colouring in with alcohol markers. We need to use Memento for our colouring. I'm using Daffodil Delight Light just to come in and colour those little ducklings, because they're a gorgeous sunny yellow. And you'll see I'm using the brush tip here for larger areas. and because that gives a slightly paler colour. And then I'm going to come in with my bullet tip on my dark Daffodil Delight for the beak and the legs. So, and little bits of shading, just a little bit. And then I just come back in and just blend those bits, just make sure I haven't missed any. And then I'm coming in with some Highland Heather to do the jackets. Make sure I've got the light one, because I did my first one with the dark, and I've nearly done the same again because the lids are so very similar. And then I coloured these in very quickly, and you see I've just missed a beak there. I'm not going to colour that in purple, that would look rather bizarre. So the main bit I'm just colouring all in the light Highland Heather, then just coming in with some slight accents. So just with stitching the edge of the bonnet with some ribbon as well. And then for the grass, I'm just using a bit of lemon lime twist for the grass, like so. And the good thing about grass is it doesn't have to be perfect. Just keep repeat stamping. And you can stamp off a bit if you want. But really what you're aiming to do is to get that looking like a nice field of grass. All that's left to do is add our panel, stamped and coloured, to our gorgeous grape. Add a bit of adhesive to the middle of that panel, centre it and add it, and there you have a pair of gorgeous Easter eggs, double Easter egg boxes ready to go. Thanks for watching. Sorry the lighting went a bit dark in the middle. Come back and see me again soon. If you'd like any of the products, pop along to my shop, heidismith.stampinup.net, flutterbyheidi.co.uk for dimensions and other projects. Bye now, see you again soon.